public health problem where 95% of the population lives in areas that are malaria endemic. CDAC has come up with a mobile surveillance app aptly named MoSQuIT.
What CDAC has come out with is a mobile-based system for data collection of malaria patients and simulate the actual working of the ASHA workers in the fields where they go to each household and collect information about people having fever for more than a particular duration. And ICMR, that's Indian Council for Medical Research's Regional Medical Research Center at Dibrugarh, has been our collaborator.
Surveillance of malaria cases takes up a lot of government resources. Moreover, as it is paper-based, the data is collated over 3 to 4 weeks. MoSQuIT cut across this major disadvantage.
This has enabled, reduction in the time that is taken for data to get transferred, which was done manually by these ASHA workers over fortnightly or monthly regular frequency. And even the stock inventory was not updated very frequently, which is also facilitated using this particular system. And since the data gets collected and compiled in a very short period of time, lot of analysis is also possible currently, which was not earlier feasible before the 2 years span of data collection.
United Nations Millennium Development Goals recognize malaria as one of the core areas which needs work. But can this surveillance system be applied to other states and diseases? With pilots running in Tengaghat of Assam and Mumbai, the system seeks one more year to fully spread its services to other states. With Gauri Athale, Geetika Rustagi, Mint.
Voilà, on peut applaudir ce projet MoSQuIT.
Warm applause to this project, MoSQuIT. It seems very simple when you look at the video, this collection of data through the phone, but it's a little of a revolution for you. Why? Because all the data before on malaria was on paper.
Thank you very much, and a big warm namaste to everybody from India. And thank you very much for inviting us. It's a big honor for us. I represent Team MoSQuIT, which is a collation of Team CDAC and Team RMRC. So it's a component where the health informatics is brought by CDAC, and the public health aspect is brought by RMRC, Regional Medical Research Institute, under ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research. And CDAC is Center for Development of Advanced Computing. We are under the Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India. So like you have shown in the video, it is a culmination of lot of discussion right from the beginning with the collaborator. So it's important that, like we discussed in the morning, health solutions should not be developed in isolation. It should be developed in coordination with the end user agency. So northeast of India is a biodiversity zone, but it is highly resource constrained because it is a hilly area. And number one, lot of rainfall is there in that area. So it is highly malaria endemic. And not a lot of the public health system has reached there. So initially this system was paper-based, and as you could see in the video also, that the data will take a long time to reach the public health system and help to take any decisions. So the analytics would be done after 2 to 3 years. So after the event is over, some analytics would happen. So this mobile-based surveillance, so MoSQuIT is actually an acronym for mobile-based surveillance using information technology, IT. So this idea appealed a lot to them because now mobile is ubiquitous across most parts of India. So initially we developed this solution for a J2ME-based phone, which was a touch-based phone. A keypad-based phone, but now after a couple of years we found out that these keypad-based phones are no longer being used. So we had to move to this Android-based device. So in a collaboration, we have developed this solution because a 3 Ps, that is what we look at. So a precise definition of the problem. So we looked at the gaps in the implementation of malaria. So National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program defines the complete flow of malaria surveillance and monitoring and vector-based control.
Vous l'avez dit, vous venez de le dire avec beaucoup de justesse.
As you said, we can move forward only if you have all the people, the stakeholders of a project. So how do you integrate all the care workers? And a lot did not even use a phone.
Yeah, actually, we found out that we actually go and give training on the field. So this system is deployed in the parts of Tripura and Assam. So the ASHA health workers who are actually the end users of this phone, so we give them a training for 3 to 4 days on the field. Thereafter, we also do a train the trainers kind of program. So based on this, on a day-to-day basis also, the Regional Medical Research Center have appointed a couple of workers on the field who are trained in using this software.
Et vous avez fait le choix.
And you decided to use mobile phones, simple and not smartphones, right?
No, actually we started with using the keypad-based phones. So, and thereafter, since the hardware itself was not available, we had to move to smartphones.
Okay.
That's the reason why we had to. The second reason also was that initially it was only a monitoring system. Now it has been upgraded to a monitoring and control system. So by control, we also mean that the use of bed nets and spray. This is very important in the field. And also continuous medical education, the geotagging of records. So whether the record is really collected on the field or not. So this is also another challenge where, like she discussed in the morning for TB, it's important that actually the system is going to the field on a day-to-day basis. So this geotagging, GIS-based analytics, the CA, that is community awareness programs using IVRS, these are the components which we have added over time.
Est-ce que vous avez déjà pu
Were you able to measure the effects of this MoSQuIT program, the fact of having quicker data collected and having a more important panel of data?
Yeah, so actually the effectiveness of the system, there are various measurements like I was asking in the morning. So it's only not just collection of data, but the whole system gets upgraded to use technology, because when we went to the field and we saw the ASHA workers entering the data, and they entered the data here, and on the screen they were able to see that the data gets transferred to the website and they're able to view it. So this is the first time that a to and fro data was visualized, so they were able to see that what they are entering has an impact on the central system, because currently the paper, they fill the paper and they don't know what happens to the paper at the end of 15 days. When they submit the paper, that's the end of the interaction. But today it's a two-way interaction where they're able to see immediate effect.
En fait, en tant que travailleur, ils ont aussi.
So as a worker, so they have their own return on investment, if you like, with these actions. Now, does this system, MoSQuIT, was for malaria? Do you think you can use it to other diseases, transmissible diseases or chronic diseases?
Yes, definitely. This is a software platform which has brought together people, it has brought together processes, it has brought together data and network. So it's a good way of bringing together a lot of well-known technologies. So this platform can definitely be used. Our collaborator is also working in the area of diarrhea, tuberculosis, AIDS. So for all these kind of things, although the disease protocol is different, as a technology it can be used. And we have also started using it for tuberculosis, where in the morning, like she discussed, treatment adherence is more key. In malaria, the treatment duration is very small. In tuberculosis, it is very long. So depending on the protocol of the disease, the software needs to be modified.
Toute dernière question, Lakshmi, quand on parle de data, on ne fait que parler de ça.
One last question when we talk about data. Well, in France, we also ask ourselves, is this confidential? Because you collect a lot of data, whether it's on patients or diseases. How do you process this data? How do you make sure that this data is really protected? There's confidentiality and the patients are therefore protected.
Definitely. So this is an important aspect even for us. This data ownership lies with the Regional Medical Research Center, number one. So what we have done is this software, the server side of the software is installed at the customer end. It is not with CTAC. The second thing is we have also given role-based access control, which means the ASHA workers, only those who are registered with our system can access it using, they have a user code and password to access it. Third is also we have done the audit, the web audit of this system, so which also means data encryption happens at the levels that is required. And this is not an open system, it is a public health system which is accessible to the stakeholders in that well-defined system.
Et c'était très important.
Yes, it's very important to mention this, the fact that you have a protected system and confidentiality. Thank you, and congratulations.